Kiersten, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And Kiersten is joining us to share her pregnancy story at 41. And you gave birth in August. So you're about
I,
3 months postpartum. So tell us, your last pregnancy, you had twins. How did you get to your daughter?
yep, that's correct. I'm now 42 and I am a mother of five kids biologically, seven in total. I had been married before and I ended up meeting my soulmate, love of my life at 41. And when we met, I had my four kids and he had his two. So he has daughters, they're 21 and 22. And then I have a 14-year-old daughter, 7-year-old daughter, and twin boys that are 6. So I
Hmm.
actually thought I was done. I had never planned on having any more kids and really thought that that chapter of my life of being pregnant and all that was closed. And so then I met Chris and we kind of, at first, I think, kind of joked about it, like, oh, that would be really cool. And then we thought, well, that would actually be really cool if we could have a baby together. But honestly, I didn't think I could get pregnant at 41. I didn't really know of many people that had. And so we thought about it, we prayed about it, and I ended up getting pregnant a few months after we talked about it. Yeah.
Wow. So tell us, what were you doing before then to prepare?
Yeah, so I wasn't really trying before that, I wasn't really trying to get pregnant at all, but I was being that my background is in health and fitness. I love researching health and fitness and learning and trying to do all the things. And so at that time, I remember I would get up every morning and after I dropped the kids off at school, I would sit on my back porch just in the beautiful sunlight and have my cup of coffee. And I'd usually like read the Bible and pray or, just kind of think about my day, just a chance to kind of talk with God
Hmm.
and just to be outside. And it was just a great way to start the day. So I was doing a lot of that. And I've since heard that getting that morning sunlight has a lot of health benefits. I didn't know that actually at the time. I wasn't doing that knowingly. I
Hmm.
just was doing that more because it just felt really good. And then I was eating really healthy. I was drinking raw milk. I'd never really tried it before,
Mm.
but I was getting raw milk. I was getting food from, I forgot what the thing is called. It comes to your door and it's from local farmers. So I was getting like local meat. I was buying grass-fed meat from a local farmer, local vegetable. I was just really eating healthy.
Yeah.
And then I would work out on my own at home, usually about 20 to 30 minutes a day, doing weights.
Hmm.
Looking back on it, even though I wasn't actively, doing anything trying to conceive, I think looking back on it, all those things definitely helped prepare me to get pregnant.
Yeah, definitely.
If I had known, those are probably the things I would have done.
And you were already doing them.
And I was already doing them. Yeah.
Amazing. So were you like timing ovulation or did you get to that level?
Nope. Didn't get to that level at all. It was really you know what, if this is what God, I mean, we really just put it out to God.
Mm.
We really did. We said, if this is something like, God, if you want us to have a baby, we would love it. But if that's not in your plan for us, we have 6 kids between the two of us. I have to do the math in my head all the time. The Brady Bunch, really. We have a lot of children already. We're so blessed. So it wasn't like I felt like, oh, I absolutely need to. So I think that helped too,
Hmm.
just not attached to the outcome.
Yeah, yeah, I could totally get that.
Yeah. So I wasn't doing any, ovulation predictor kit or anything like that.
No.
Mm-mm.
So a few months later, what happened? Your cycle was late?
So the weird thing about my cycle is, so I got my first period at 16. It's probably, I don't know, TMI, but maybe not for this
No.
show. But I only get like 6 or 7 cycles a year. That's,
Really?
yes, that has been my norm. And I remember with my first daughter, when I was trying to get pregnant with her, so this was 15 years ago, I remember going and talking to the doctor, and she said, I don't think you'll be able to have babies on your own. Yeah.
You
She's
proved
like,
her wrong.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So she said, "Oh, I think you have PCOS," and all these things. Like, and I don't remember what else she thought, but I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter on my own. But that one was a little bit more stressful, I think, because I had the doctor telling me you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to conceive naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question of did I know I was late, I really,
You had no idea.
unfortunately, I'm not one of those women that is like clockwork
Mm-hmm.
that gets a period every 30 days or whatever, 28
Mm-hmm.
days. So actually, Chris said to me, he said, I think you might want to take a test. You haven't, he kind of noticed. And
That's funny.
I wasn't even thinking that. Yeah. And at first I kind of like brushed it off. And then I thought, well, you know what, I'll just go take a test. And I happen to have one. And so I took it and I found out, I was like, I couldn't believe it. The line turned
Instant.
blue or whatever instantly,
Wow. Now,
instantly.
what signs did he see?
You know, I should have asked him before I got on here. I don't know. I don't know if it was like intuition or if he thought it had been a while. I think he thought it had been a while
Uh,
since my last period. And for me, that's just normal though.
right.
I'm just, I mean, I can go 45 days without a cycle. Mhm.
Resting. And it only took only a few months.
Yeah, it was just probably 3 months.
Wow. So
Hmm.
what did you think when you saw that positive test?
Oh gosh. It doesn't matter if it's your first baby or your fifth baby. It's always like this, oh my gosh, like this feeling of wonderment
Uh-huh.
and excitement. And then sometimes a little bit of dread because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 41. Like I didn't actually think I could get pregnant. So, I mean, I was so excited, but I was also in shock. I
Yeah.
was in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went and I decided I wanted to surprise him. So I went, got a little onesie for him and wrapped it up and went to his work and gave it to him in a little bag.
How
And I'm like, oh,
cute.
here's a gift. And he's like, what's this for? And I said, oh, just because. And then he opened it up and I should have got it on camera. It was so cute, his reaction. He was so excited.
Yeah. I bet he was
So
really happy.
yeah,
Cute. Well,
yeah.
how was your first trimester?
Oh, horrible. I'll be honest with you. It, okay, so I'd never had morning sickness with any of them. And I had morning sickness for like the first 15 weeks of the pregnancy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing that's kind of interesting about it, so I called the doctor after I found out that I was pregnant. I didn't have an OB/GYN, so I, asked some friends and I found a doctor and I went in and they did the ultrasound because they said, well, when was your last period? And of course, that's, kind of a not an easy question. So I said, well, I think it was, and it would have been like 6 weeks before. Well, we go in and we do the ultrasound and there was nothing, like it was just a sac. Yeah. So she was like, well, I don't know. Come back in 2 weeks.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so I had to wait 2 weeks, and that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard to wait those 2 weeks because I'm like, I know I'm pregnant. I just hope the baby's okay. And it was too early. So we
Hmm.
went back 2 weeks later and we saw a heartbeat.
Wow.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Scary.
But it was scary. You get excited and you're like, okay, I feel it. And but I guess I just went in too soon.
Yeah. I'm sure you were just too early and it wasn't, and you didn't
Right.
know.
Because I don't know my cycle. And my cycle is not an indicator. Like for most women, it can be, but for me, it's just not.
Well, how was the rest of your pregnancy?
Let's see. So I was really nauseous the first 15 weeks and tired. So tired.
Hmm.
The second trimester was probably the best. I felt I was not nauseous anymore, which was so wonderful. I feel so bad for women that have that where they're constantly throwing up. That is so hard because I only
Yeah.
threw up a couple times. So I was so happy to not have that nausea anymore. And let's see, I remember I got really sick. I think I had the flu. And I just decided I didn't want to take any kind of pharmaceutical, anything, like no Tylenol, no nothing. And I just laid in bed and drank lemon water for 2 days. And that helped. So that was just, but it knocked me on my butt. At one point, I think it was probably in the second trimester, I was so tired. And I went into the doctor and I said, I am just so tired. Is is it because I'm 41? Actually, at that point, I think I turned 42 in April. I think I was 42. And I said, is it because I'm 42? And she said, yeah, that's it. And I just knew instinctively deep down that that wasn't the case.
Hmm.
So we had run blood work, they take your blood all the time. And so I looked at my blood work and my iron levels were so low.
Hmm.
And I went and got some really, really good prenatals from my chiropractor. And that helped. I can't tell you how much that helped.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet.
I mean, it made a world of difference. I was on some prenatals, but these just they had a little bit of extra.
Hmm.
And the next time I took my blood work, my iron levels had shot way up and I felt so much better.
Yeah, that's great. It's amazing. I
Mhm.
was like that with my vitamin D.
Were you?
Yeah. I was like, wow, the supplements really work.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, vitamin D and magnesium together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What about your doctor? You said you didn't have an OB?
No, I did. Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't have one
UTA.
before. Yeah, so I had to find a new one.
So
And mhm.
finding one, what was important to you?
I think for an OB, they have to have good bedside manner. I really do. Just someone with experience. I was very impressed with my doctor the first time I went in and, you know, found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to treat me like different than,
Hmm.
because I've been pregnant in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I just thought this is going to be a different experience. They're going to, label me as, whatever they label advanced maternal age. She did not at all. She didn't bat an eye. She's like, oh, I just helped a woman that was 48 deliver a baby,
Oh,
a
wow.
healthy baby.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that really gave me a lot of encouragement. And
Hmm.
honestly, your page gave me a lot of encouragement
Oh.
and I don't know, it just made me feel like I wasn't alone.
Hmm.
Because I think when you're first, for me anyways, this is my experience, 41 and pregnant, I felt like I was the only 41-year-old that was pregnant on the
Me
planet.
too. Hmm.
It's a human experience. We want to feel connected and encouraged by other people that are going through the similar situation. And so I have to say, finding your page and listening to all of the different women that have gone before me gave me so much strength. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for creating this platform for
Yeah.
people, for us, over 40 pregnant
You,
women.
even for me, it has helped me tremendously hearing all of these stories and making me feel like 42 isn't a big deal. It's
It's really
wonderful.
not. Yes, it is. And I mean, the more I've learned, it's like, gosh, women used to have babies well into their 40s,
Yeah.
just, naturally. So I think that the doctors today basically make you feel like after 35,
Hmm.
that door is shut.
Yep.
Can't get pregnant anymore, but that's just not the case.
What about the gender? Did you find out you were having a girl when you were pregnant?
We did. We were both so excited to find out what we were having.
Hmm.
And so we opted to do the genetic testing, the blood test, like early. I don't even know what week it is, but we decided to do that. And I know we found out on Valentine's Day
Oh, fun.
that we were having a girl. So we were excited.
Well, tell us how you found out. You were at the doctor's office or
No, it email. Just yeah, just like this company. So your doctor takes a blood test and then they send it out and then they email you. And I just checked the email and found out that it's a girl and she's healthy. And so that was really good.
Yeah. Did you find out together? Was it anything special, or were you like, here's an email?
I never really had that before. If I had known, I would have waited and opened it with him, but
Uh,
I found out alone. Yeah.
that's
So
okay.
he was at work and I called him up and let him know. But yeah.
That's really fun. So, what are the genders in your family now? Is it even?
Oh no, we're still girl heavy. We have one, two, three, four, five girls
Oh, wow.
and
And two
two
boys,
boys.
the
Yes.
twins.
And they're twins. They
How
came as a
fun.
package deal. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Was there any products that helped you during pregnancy that you could recommend?
I'll have to get the name of the prenatals.
Hmm.
I got them from my chiropractor and I really trust him. He and his doctor, or he and his wife are both doctors and very holistic.
Hmm.
And so they really vet their anything that they sell. And so they made a world of difference,
Hmm.
honestly. And I'm not one that's a big supplement taker. So I'll get you the name of that.
Okay.
Those helped. Chiropractic care.
Yeah.
I'm a big, big fan of chiropractors. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that was a big thing. But as far as like supplements and stuff, I can't think of anything else in particular. Just, drinking good, clean water, trying to eat whole foods,
Hmm.
getting plenty of sunlight.
Yeah. Did you continue working out and eating?
No,
Oh,
I didn't. Yeah, I was okay. Honestly, I worked out in every other pregnancy. I was teaching classes, I was personal training. With this pregnancy,
uh-huh.
I was so tired and I gave myself permission to rest and
Hmm.
listen to my body. And my body was tired. And my body said, you know what? Going to the grocery store is enough. Like
Hmm.
that's my half hour of walking a day, walking around the grocery store. I was just so tired.
Yeah.
I'd never felt so tired in my whole life. And I think the freedom of being 40 is accepting whatever limitations you have at that moment. And
Hmm.
I just said at that moment, I'm like, my mind wants to work out, but my body is telling me something different. And I'm just going to honor that.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, I gained the least amount of weight with this
In-
pregnancy.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes. I was really focused on eating healthy. I didn't change my eating habits. So I was still eating really well.
Hmm.
And I only gained like 40 pounds, which is really good for me. I've gained 60 to 80 in all the others.
That's great.
Yeah.
I bet it made you feel better too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
then I was able to lose it a lot quicker. And I think that was the other push is I kept thinking I'm in my 40s. I don't want to go crazy and then have all that extra weight to lose because it's just harder as you get older to lose weight.
Yeah.
But other than that, my blood pressure was great. I did not have gestational diabetes. It was a very healthy pregnancy.
That's great.
I feel very thankful for that.
Yeah. And how did you prepare for her?
So obviously we had no baby stuff. So I have a wonderful group of women and it's my mama tribe. And I go once a week. We have like a mom, you know, it's our little meetup. And so they put on a baby shower for me.
Oh,
And I just bought like used things, like Facebook Marketplace
yeah.
and just really simple. I find that you don't need as much as like with my first, I got all the things. And
Hmm.
with this one, I was like, you know what? I'm only going to get it as I need it.
Uh-huh. I kind of
So,
feel that too, even now. I'm like,
yeah,
crib stuff. I'm like, why don't we just go to Facebook Marketplace?
absolutely.
You
Yeah. Oh,
know,
I
it,
found some great things there.
yeah. And it's not really used very much. They only use it for a year, 6 months.
Exactly.
So I'm like, why
Exactly.
not?
Yeah. And some never use it. I mean, I got this bassinet. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's normally like retails for $250. And I got it from someone that their kid barely used it. and I
Wow.
got it for $50. So you can
Nice.
find a lot of great deals.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
then also a lot of my friends just gave me, I got a lot of hand-me-downs too.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, my sister is coming today and
Oh, good.
she's giving me maternity clothes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, she's like, "Are you okay with me doing that?" And I'm like, "I think so. Like, I'm
Oh
gonna put them in
gosh.
a box and like put them away
Oh, I'm
until
so
like I'm
excited
ready."
for you. Yes,
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
yeah.
Oh,
Is there anything else about your pregnancy you want to mention?
let's see. At 35 weeks, she was breech.
Ooh,
And I was like, oh, yeah. So they started talking about like C-section or the possibility. And I've never had a C-section.
uh-huh.
And so I did spinning babies techniques.
Yes, tell us more.
That was awesome. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend it because I was freaking out. So the one that I did was where you're like kneeling on the couch, and then it's hard, it's not easy to do when you're, for me, it wasn't easy to do being, 35 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
But you're kneeling on the couch, and then you have to get your forearms down onto the floor.
I've seen that
If that
one.
makes sense. Yeah. So
Hmm.
that helped. The other thing I did was I would just, like in the kitchen counter, I would just like lean over so that my belly was like a hammock. So just to kind of create space.
Uh-huh.
And then the other thing that helped was the chiropractor. I
Yeah.
remember when I had gone and she was breech, and he said, oh, yeah, your hip is like rotated forward. So I think that helped create space. So she flipped and she was head down, and I was able to not have to have a C-section, which was wonderful.
So all those exercises and
Mm-hmm.
movements made it so the baby could rotate on her own.
I believe so. I think it really helped. Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, she was moving a lot. I mean, she was even at one point sideways, transverse in there. So I know, but I was just a little worried that I was going to have a C-section, which would have been fine. It's not the end of the world,
Sure.
but I just didn't want the recovery, having other kids and having never had one before. It did scare me.
Yeah. But in doing simple things like exercises to prevent
Mhm.
a C-section, let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was where my head was at. I said, I'm just going to do whatever I can do. And you know what? If it doesn't work out that way, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's great.
Hmm.
So, did the doctor want to induce you?
I have big babies, and my
What,
husband's
how
big.
big?
Let's see. My 7-year-old was like 2 days early, and she was 9 too.
That is a good
Okay.
size, I'd say.
Okay. My twins
Uh-huh.
were, they induced me because they're identical. And when you have identical, they share, not always, but mine were monochorionic diamniotic.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot. It's basically they shared a placenta. So when they share the placenta, there's a chance of the placenta breaking down after, I believe it's 36 or 37 weeks. So they induced me with the twins at that time. One of them was almost 8 pounds. He was 713, and the other was 7'4".
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, they were 3, 4 weeks early and healthy.
Yeah.
So I do think that as you have more babies, they tend to get bigger because you have more room.
Hmm.
So I was a little concerned that she was going to be a really big baby. And so I was like, is there a way to be induced? She said, actually, because of your age,
Hmm.
we recommend that women, over 40 are, or over whatever age, at 39 weeks.
Hmm.
And I was tired. And I also thought she's going to be really big. I want to make sure that she can have room to fit out. I was worried that she wasn't going to fit. But my doctor actually was like, if you've had a 9 pound baby before, you can do it again. And so that
Yeah.
gave me some encouragement. Like, okay, I'll be okay.
Yeah. A natural birth, nine
Hmm.
pound baby. Wow.
Yeah. And that one,
Incredible.
I was not induced with that one.
Yeah. And even
Hmm.
the fact that you had twins naturally
Hmm.
without a C-section is really impressive.
Wow, thank you. That one actually, funny enough, was probably my easiest birth.
What?
I know. It doesn't make sense at all. They induced me, and I had them within 7 hours of being induced,
Wow.
21 minutes apart. Yep.
21 minutes apart. That's incredible too.
Yeah, I know. And they
Wow.
went home the next day. I mean, they made me have them in a really like, a NICU, the high level NICU, which is great because just in case.
Twins. Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't need any of it. We literally went home the next day.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Incredible. So
Hmm.
you wanted to be induced with this one.
I did. I did. I was so tired. It
Hmm.
was really, I have to say, this was a really hard pregnancy for me. And I love hearing from other interviews that you've done with the women that say they feel so good. And I'm like, that is awesome. That wasn't me, unfortunately. I just, between the nausea, the the fatigue, and just kind of my body hurting, it was just a really, really hard pregnancy for me. So I was ready as long as like she was ready, I was ready for her.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So you went in for induction at 39 weeks.
Yes.
Take us back to that day.
Yeah, so they a couple days before they checked, they did a cervical check to see if I was dilated, and I wasn't.
Hmm.
And they said if you're dilated, then you'll come in on Monday, and if not, you'll go Sunday because they were going to do something else. So I wasn't dilated at all. Went in on Sunday, and I guess I was having contractions. I was starting to have contractions on my own. And so they decided, since my doctor didn't get in until 7 o'clock the next morning, they weren't going to start anything and they were going to wait until 7 the
Hmm.
next morning. So I was kind of bummed because I'm like, I could have been at home in bed, but that's okay. I also didn't know that once you start being induced, you can't eat.
Hmm.
So that was concerning to me because I'm like, I'm about to go into labor. I need to eat. Like I need fuel. So we didn't do anything. Monday morning, they started the Pitocin about 7 a.m. And it was just really slow. Not much was happening.
Hmm.
I had great nurses at that time. And I think it was like around, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon. And one of them said, do you want to get an epidural? And I said, oh, yeah. And they're like, well, when? And I said, I don't know. When do you get one? When you're induced? And she's like, well, some women get it like right away. And I was like, well, why didn't anyone tell me that? I'm like kind of like going through the contractions. And when you're on Pitocin, it's a different thing than going into labor on your own. It's just a different feeling. Not even that it's harder or anything. Just for me, it was different. So I ended up getting the epidural, and that was good. I did not like the anesthesiologist. He was super rough, but it was fine. I mean, it was a successful epidural. It was just taking its time. I think that the doctors and I both thought that it would be a lot quicker because, like, based on the twins,
Uh-huh.
it was so quick. It was such a quick, from start to finish. Well, here we are now. It's like 4 in the afternoon. And I think I was, gosh, I should have wrote it down. I know I was dilated. I don't know how far dilated I was, but I wasn't really progressing very quickly like I thought I would, like I had before. And so then they had a nurse change at 7, and a new nurse came on, Mary Ashley. I'll never forget her name. She looked like she was in her early 20s. I mean, couldn't have been out of school very long.
Uh-huh.
But I just knew, I was like, I could tell that she had wisdom. And I kept eyeing in the corner. There was a regular, Swiss ball. And then there was this other weird looking ball. And I asked the other nurses, I said, well, what is that for? And they said, oh, some women use it to labor on it. It's a peanut ball.
Hmm.
So when Mary Ashley came in the room, she put that peanut ball to work. And she had me laying on my side, putting the peanut ball between my legs and like putting my knees together with my feet apart. And that did things to help the baby like descend into the birth canal.
Hmm.
And she would check me and she would say, okay, you're a little bit more on this side than the other. I'm going to turn you up. Are you okay if I sit you up? And she did all these things using gravity and using the peanut ball because I was totally numb. So I could move a little bit, but not much.
Hmm.
And then when it was about, I think it was about 10 p.m. Okay. So the other interesting thing is Chris's oldest daughter or youngest daughter was going to be 21 on the 15th.
Uh-huh.
This is the 14th at 10 p.m.
Oh
We're like,
no.
is she going to share a birthday? And I always kind of wanted her to still have her own day.
Sure.
And, and so I was like, well, at that point at 10 p.m., I resolved myself to the fact that she probably wasn't going to be born until like 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning because this was just taking so long.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, because of Mary Ashley and like everything that she did, she ended up coming at 11:03 p.m. Yeah, with
What
like
timing? So how long did she work moving you around?
it was probably the whole time that from 7 until she was born. She was really watching me. And I remember at one point, she said, why don't you give me a couple practice pushes? And the doctor wasn't there. And I'm like, well, shouldn't the doctor be here? But she knows more than I do, obviously. Like, I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, let me have you do this. And she had me change into a position. She's like, I'm going to do this so that you don't have to push so long. I was like, thank you. I think I
Okay.
love you
Yeah.
because pushing is not fun.
Yeah.
And so, whatever she did, it absolutely made the difference. And I only pushed for 10 minutes.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Which was
What?
awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So were you pushing on your back or were you in other
Yeah.
positions?
No, I was on my back because of the epidural.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. I was doing that. And I think at that point, yeah, the epidural had kind of worn off. So I felt I was definitely in a little bit of pain, but it was fine. At
Hmm.
that point, I was just happy I was so hungry too. That was the other thing. I was
Mm.
starving. Think about it. I hadn't eaten since 7 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
and it's now 11 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
and you're in labor.
What a
So
combination.
yeah, that's not a winning combination at all.
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
no. So I just remember being so hungry and tired. And because I didn't sleep at all in that
Hmm.
interim.
So at what point did the doctor come in? When did you
So
actually
the
give
doc,
birth?
yeah, she came in. So she came in at like probably 10:45. And she said, I have somebody else that I think is about to have a baby, but let me see, or getting ready to have a baby. Let me have you do a couple practice pushes and see. And I just didn't want her to go because she had been not around very much, I, which is fine, but I just didn't see her as much as I would have wanted to. She'd come in and check, and then she'd be gone.
Hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make these pushes count. And I did. And she stayed. She's like, oh, okay, we're ready to have a baby. So she got her gloves on, got the little whatever, all the birthing stuff ready.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that was probably like 10:50. And I had her at 11:03 p.m.
Wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah.
And first, I want to talk about your nurse because I'm so impressed. Like,
Yeah.
what? Oh, I wish every hospital had a nurse
Oh,
like that.
I know. I agree. I have to say, having this was my fourth birth, I have 5 kids, but two at once. The having her as my nurse made all the difference. And I will say I've had wonderful nurses before because I have with my first, I had some excellent nurses that just pushed me. And I remember because the epidural didn't work with my first, and I pushed for 2 hours.
Oh,
And I remember the nurse who was actually a client of mine too. And she was holding my leg and she was like, you can do it. Because I remember at one point going, I can't do this. I'm tired. I'm in pain. I'd been in labor for 3 days with my first. So it was just a different experience. And she made all the difference. But with Mary Ashley, I just never even known about any of this stuff. And what she was doing is she was using spinning babies techniques in the delivery room.
yeah. It was like
Mhm.
having a doula.
Yes. Yes. And I could have had a doula.
Hmm.
They offered me to have a doula. And I don't know why. I didn't, I said, no, that's okay. I didn't want a doula.
Uh-huh.
and I have a lot of friends that use doulas and stuff. It just wasn't something that I felt like I needed.
Well, I don't blame you. You've had fast
Yeah,
deliveries, you've had other births. I
right.
could see that a doula wouldn't be for you.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that's what it is. And it
Yeah.
all worked out.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
perfectly.
Yeah.
So now that she's out, what was important to you after that? Did you have skin to skin?
Yeah, skin to skin. It was so cool. She came out and she almost like crawled on my chest and then
Hmm.
she picked her head up and looked right at daddy. It was so
Oh my
sweet. I'll just
God.
always
Wow.
remember that moment. And then she was just very alert right away. She cried right away. I wanted the delayed cord clamping. That was definitely something that I wanted. And yeah, just the skin to skin and the bonding immediately. And thankfully she was healthy and we were able to do that because I've
Yeah.
had it with others that, something happened and you don't get that. So,
Hmm.
so that's hard.
Yeah. Were you
Hmm.
able to try and breastfeed right away too?
Yeah, I did. I did. And she latched
Right
right
away.
away.
Have
Yeah,
you've always breastfed your kids, right?
I have.
And have
Yes.
you had any challenges with any of them or easy?
Knock on wood, not not really. I've been
Wow.
very fortunate because I know it doesn't come easy to everybody. But I always say nothing like with parenting, there's certain things that don't come easy to some but other
Yeah.
things do.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with potty training. Don't call me for advice on potty training. I'm really
Hey, but
bad at that.
yeah, but
but
breastfeeding.
but yeah, and when I will say having I think I believe the key to having a successful experience with breastfeeding is having somebody that can literally come to your house and help you. And I had that with my first, the lady that I was talking about that was a client that was help the labor and delivery nurse.
Mhm.
She came to my house after my first daughter was born and laid in bed with me and taught me how to nurse my daughter on her side,
Wow.
kind of like a co-sleeping thing. And
Uh-huh.
I've shared that with mom friends. Like I'll go over there and I will help them to do something like that. So I think that the support that a mother can get, especially when she's first starting, is so
Mhm.
important. And I think that set me up for being successful with the breastfeeding.
So, how was your recovery?
It was pretty good. I have
Mhm.
to say, I didn't stay on the pain meds for maybe a day or two. That was it. I think I had a very small tear, but nothing horrible, and everything that was all good. And I really think that breastfeeding does help because when you're nursing, there's like you can feel your uterus contracting and tightening and getting smaller. So I could feel that as I was nursing her. And I think I've probably got about 10 pounds left to go of the baby weight. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
And
So
mentally, how are
yeah,
you?
mentally, I'm really good. I've had postpartum depression before.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely aware of it. And I try to be a little just extra aware and cautious and kind to myself, knowing that it can happen. I think it's up to a year after birth.
Yeah.
You can get it. But I do believe if you have a good support system, that definitely helps decrease the chances of getting
Yeah.
postpartum depression or anxiety.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else you want to mention about your pregnancy or birth?
Oh gosh, I don't, not that I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel very blessed that I have a healthy baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to have more kids in your 40s?
Oh gosh, I knew you'd ask me that. I think I've exceeded my bandwidth, like I'm not sure that I could have any more.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Unless God is like, you really need another kid. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. And what has been your biggest challenge being pregnant over 40?
For me, the fatigue,
Yeah.
the just being so tired. Yeah, and trying all the things and those things didn't work for me, and so just having to let myself be okay with just knowing that I'm going to be tired. I'm not a lazy person. I'm one of those that I like to be active and I like to move. So for
Hmm.
me, for my personality, that was hard for me.
Yeah.
I like to be active and move and work out. And I had a lot of limitations. So I'd say that was my biggest challenge for sure.
Hmm. Yesterday, I was at my desk and I was like falling asleep. I'm like,
Oh,
I am so exhausted.
because you're making a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a lot of work.
Hmm. A lot
Yeah.
of work, hard work on the body.
You know what? It is. And you have to give yourself grace.
Yeah. I had to get up
Yeah.
and like walk around.
Or
It's
go
like,
take a
oh,
nap.
I would love to. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
It's not always it's not always an option.
Is there anything you'd recommend that would help prepare someone for a pregnancy and birth over 40?
Honestly, if I didn't have chiropractic care, I went once a week and got adjusted. And I feel like that definitely helped.
You've even taken your daughter to chiropractor care
Yes,
too.
I did. Yeah, we did. I've been doing chiropractic care for about 20 years. And so he actually just started recently and he loves it. When she was born, I noticed that she was kind of only looking to one side, like her head was only turned to the right.
Hmm.
And I don't know what that's called. It's called something, but and it can happen in the womb where, they just get in a position. And so I took her to a certified pediatric chiropractor and very gentle. And like he explained it to Chris, the overprotective dad, which is wonderful. It's putting as much pressure on her as I would on your eye. So
Hmm.
they do it very differently. And that made a world of difference for her. So
Hmm.
now she has like full range of motion with her head. And we've taken her a few more times just for, I believe she had colic and then spitting up a lot, just really
Uh-huh.
fussy. So I definitely have noticed a difference with her.
How how instant was she able to get full motion in her head
Oh,
after that?
almost right away.
Wow.
I would say it was almost right away. I think it probably took two adjustments for it to hold. I noticed it
Mm.
right away and then she would kind of revert back. And then I
Hmm.
took her the next week and then I felt like it stuck and she's been fine ever since.
Wow, that's impressive.
Hmm. So, but they're tight in there
Yeah.
in your womb. And so things get a little kinked up in there.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Yeah, so that's definitely been a saving grace for both me and the recovery. I will say
Mm.
that getting adjusted, like that first adjustment after birth, oh my gosh, that felt amazing.
I bet because she moved
Yeah.
you all around and your
Yes.
body just goes through so much.
Oh my gosh, I had so much tension and stress in my neck and my shoulders and my back, and I mean yeah, it was wonderful.
What advice would you give yourself when you were pregnant if you could go back?
Honestly, I think I just took my own advice when I was pregnant, and I normally wouldn't do that, but I think being 41, 42, I just said, just listen to your body. And I did. And it wasn't really because I was cavalier. I think it was more just I was so tired and I really didn't have a choice. And so, but I didn't put the guilt on myself like I normally would. Like, oh, you're not working out. You're not doing all the things that you were doing before. And so I just did what I needed to do to, you know, feed my kids, take care of the family, the basic stuff, but I would take naps and I'm not a napper. So I think just listening without guilt and honoring that my body is producing a baby. And it's not easy at any age.
Yeah, that's true. And what advice would you give those other women over 40 who are trying to conceive?
I would just say, I think mentally, it's just good to be in a good place mentally. For me, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't be where I am if not for my relationship with Jesus. So I give all the glory to him. Like this baby, I mean, to me, it's a miracle. Every baby's a miracle, but especially, having a baby at 42. So I think being in a good place mentally, spiritually, and then physically, I think just being as healthy as you can
Mm-hmm.
and getting sunlight. I think sunlight is so underrated, but
Yeah.
especially that morning sun. I think there are so many healthy benefits to that. This is kind of a side note, but I think this would help too. Is I got a rebounder recently. It's like a trampoline. It's like a little mini trampoline
Okay.
that has a handlebar. And I got
Mm-hmm.
it for me for working out. Well, when she gets fussy, I stand on that rebounder and I just do a little gentle bounce,
Uh-huh.
very gentle, and it calms her down immediately.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think the reason I got the rebounder is there are so many health benefits. So I'm sure that even doing something like that would be healthy and helpful, or whatever it is that makes you happy or that you like to do with moving your body,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great advice. And do you want to give your links in your Instagram so others can connect with you?
Yeah, you can post it. I'm not an influencer or anything like that, but I would love to connect with other 40 plus mamas that are having babies or trying to conceive. I would love that. So absolutely post my link.
You know what your
And
account name is called?
I think it's KMD 820. I'm not like super active, but I would absolutely love for all the other mamas to friend request me.
Thank you, Kiersten, for sharing your story. It was
Oh,
amazing.
well, thank you, Jamie. And thank you so much for having this platform and creating such a wonderful community. I have to say, it really helped me. It really, really did. Just not feel so alone. And it gave me like that encouragement and empowerment. Like, I can do this. Other people have done it before. I'll be fine. And I was fine.